Hello, here's an AYD League game that black won by 18.5, so pretty comfortable. Actually, this game was decided early on in a cockfight in the top left corner, so let's get into it. This time we have a very modern style Fuseki with this diagonal. Well, the first move it's a bit questionable. Normally black starts with a move in the top right corner, but when you play online it doesn't matter so much. In a real game it's considered more polite to start in your opponent's half of the board. So white obviously invites black for a diagonal Fuseki, which is going to be a little more fighting than usual, and black decided to go for a Shimari. This is fine, it's very popular, but black can actually attack the top right corner first. Low or high, it doesn't matter, because like this, black makes sure white doesn't get a Shimari in the top right. So let's say white would just fix the corner this way, and now black doesn't have to continue with J17 necessarily. He can go for a Shimari in the top left or play the Shimari in the lower right like he did in the game to space high. Also the O game is fine. I mean, well, this is just a matter of style or taste. It's absolutely fine to do the Shimari right on. And now white attacks the top left corner. This is very good. Nice decision. And then make the Shimari in the top right. So far so good. Now very modern early sun sign invasion. White can actually block either side. Actually, in this case, I would prefer d3 and then no b, because this way, when you extend to the middle of the side, this is the hot spot for black too. I mean, when he's got the Shimari this way, the direction to extend it's towards k3. So that's an idea, or let's say a reason for white to choose the block at d3 instead of c4. But c4 is fine too. Maybe the difference between these kind of blocks is like 1 or 2%. It's really not deciding the game. So here white plays an interesting move. It's possible, but in general, the common move is just Hane. And when black Hane, white is already centered, so white can extend on the left side anyway. Therefore, there are also different variations in the corner when you play the Hane right away. There is Hane in the corner, then the inside cut, and this can lead to a very common Joseki, where you just switch to the bottom side and then go all the way to O3 to expand the moe. But this doesn't have to be played right away. So you play one Hane in Sente, and then you can extend on the left side if you want to set up the moe on the left. Also, white has the option to play Keima here, which is also quite common, and then extend on the left side. But the move in the game is playable too. So Nobi again. All these moves are fine options for white. Even earlier, white can think about the Keima directly, but playing the Nobi is simple. If you play Keima here and black attaches, then it starts to become crazy with these flying knife Joseki variations, where it depends on the ladder and so on. So this can always be complicated. Therefore, playing the Nobi makes more sense. Usually, black would just play Keima and then white can extend on the left somewhere to the middle of the side. I guess that was the plan. Anyway, Nobi, not a bad idea. Black plays Keima, it's also okay. So compared to the other variation, where black goes Keima right away at f2, this feels slightly better for white, because white has a longer wall with 4 stones in a line, and then it's nice to extend to the middle of the side. So far so good. The game is still 50-50. Very nice extension here to take away white's middle side extension. Then white played J17. The direction of play is good, but actually the spot is H17. This is the vital point when you want to attack that Keima formation. The other move is played against the Kosumi, but here you want to go all the way to H17 because it's much stronger to attack the group after that. So black is losing the base rapidly. Therefore, when you play H17, usually black will react somehow locally, either a kick and then another kick and jump out. But this is nice because it gives white a lot of potential in the top and also a much more secure formation on the left side. So remember, the key point is actually H17. Let's mark it like this instead of J17. It's a bit more active. Now, yeah, black can think about moves around d14, for example, or simply double up the corner. Also, it's possible for black to play a pincer around d12 to make sure that c15 doesn't connect so easy to d10. But of course, white can play tsuke and a hane in the corner, tsuke crosscut, it's an option, or tsuke and tiger mount. If black goes atari, white can counter atari. So black usually will pull back. Now white can nobi to keep the eye shape. Then black is forced to run out somehow. Or white can even hane and fight the ko. But the ko, it's a little bit early, we will see in a moment. There is a ko fight happening in the top left, and it's difficult to find ko threats at this stage of the game. So when black played this move, white came up with an interesting tsuke, which is fine, but the follow-up, not so great. So usually here, you want to play a crosscut, because you got 4 stones against 2 in this crosscut situation, so it can be bad. Obviously, black has some variations to leave on the side, for example, but white can't complain. So, for example, black can play Atari here, then connect, white has to cover, Atari under, push one time, then jump Keima to make eye shape. If black plays the one space jump here, this is dangerous. White will push and cut like this. And now when black defends here, white will take this guy. Then black can leave, but it's very painful. This will be a way to leave inside, and then white will just catch the other stone in the net. So that's why it's better for black to play Keima. This will leave also, but now white either takes the stone like this, or block one time and slide in the corner. So having this thickness on the outside, it's obviously weakening the top 2 stones. And of course, black lived on the left, but that's tiny life, and white can still grow in the center with that thickness. So this is a fine variation. Therefore, the natural move is cut here. Of course, black can play Atari like this and then connect. But if this happens, you just cover. If he turns, you push. If he plays one Atari here, you connect. And if he blocks the corner, now he's safe in the corner, but you got a nice position on the left side. And capturing this c12, it's profitable here. So once you play the tsuke, you should think about the crosscut. Actually, play the crosscut even without thinking. So you always have 4 against 2 in this situation, and it's a nice follow-up. Black can also try this move and then go out, and when you connect underneath, he will play Atari here, then you can counter Atari and Atari again, or fight a little bit. Go out, he plays this one, go out again, he needs to connect somehow, then turn, and well, it's a messy fight, but maybe the top left corner suffers more than in the actual game. So all the variations here with the crosscut seem to be better than the actual game plan. So Atari, white protects, blocks with ko. Yeah, if white connects here, it's also a bit strange, it's heavy. Well, black will protect this way, white comes out, black will try to leave on the left side, and then white needs to find a way to attack the group. So for example, surround here, double up, it's quite important to stay alive. Then you can slide. But yeah, black will survive in the corner, and it's also difficult to gain too much on the left side. So this is also a happy variation for black. Therefore, white blocks with ko instead of the soldier's head shape. This shows some fighting spirit. And then ko fight. So here, if white just protects, black needs to do something about all those cuts. Then white will capture one stone in center and slide in the corner. I think this is a little better than the actual game, because you live in the corner and there is still some RG for black to come back. I mean, if black plays away, you can push, cut, extend, and continue fighting. So this ko was pretty much a do or die ko, and there is almost nothing to threaten that big. I mean, if you push here and your opponent blocks, then you take back the ko and it feels good because he needs to connect, and Atari, you come out and so on. But I think black will ignore any threat. Once he takes here, the position is super powerful, lots of points in the corner, and even if you separate like this, there is still RG on the left side. For example, this kind of approach, and then ruin the Moy on the left side because he's very thick in the top left corner. Anyway, this is a possible cut threat, f3, but the cut threat in the game was also big, q4. The only problem is that it's not big enough to make him answer. I mean, if he answers, obviously you play here. So good decision for black to shut his eyes and eliminate the call. Now Hane, that's good. He counter Hane and Atari. This Atari is actually wrong. If you want to play an Atari, it should be p3, but it's good enough, just connect, solid. Black will do the same and then slide. And this gives you a very comfortable life in the corner. Then you have the Hane to cut later on. But if you want to play Atari and then connect, then it should be Atari cut like this and now connect. Because now the only option for black is to capture this stone. And in this case, you play Atari to come out. If he connects, you also have another forcing move in the corner. So he might take right away. You can play an Atari, but it's not even necessary. Connect here, it's an option, or just leave it. Play Keima, and if he cuts, now you play Atari. If he goes for a call, that's the kind of call where you just eliminate. So he might just connect, and then you push along a couple of times, and then you secure the corner. So it's a good fight. Those stones on the right side start floating. The group on the bottom needs a little help too. So if you want to play Atari, Atari cut and then connect. That's a better fight. Or don't play Atari at all. Connect, connect, Keima. This is simple. If he comes back here, the group is already alive. Nothing to worry about. And then reduce the bottom. So far, black has a very powerful top left corner, a tiny lower left corner, and some wall that is not really working so efficiently. But with this Atari, you need to come back and protect the cutting point. So it's like playing this move. He connects and then Hane and he blocks. But actually this Hane block exchange you don't need, because later on maybe you cut and he's in more trouble. So Atari connect, defend, he blocks. The formation is very good for, it's very thick for black. Jump is good. Then white got a big point. This is nice. Actually for white, it's a bit dangerous when black invades at d8. So normally at some point you need to reinforce this area. But it's really large to play r12. Well, black still has the first chance to win this game. But now it feels that white is coming back a little bit too. Yeah, you need to defend here. Lot of Aji. It also works to play Hane. So when Atari connect, when Hane defend like this, because it creates a cutting point and a clamp. So there's a follow-up. There is also this cut. Black has a little bit of Aji there. Like this, black is just solid. So black can play Atari, you defend, and then black leaves the position like this and goes somewhere else. Yeah, this 2k is playable. White can block this way. And then if black goes Nobi, you just descend. If he plays the Hane, you go Atari and connect. And it's a different fight. This variation, yeah, black got strong on the outside. Normally here, white needs this move. And usually black will cut. But in this case, I think he'll just jump out. And if you connect under, he covers and he connects also. So here, black has to jump out this way. Oh, it's okay. He decided to sacrifice. Interesting. No need to cut. Just play Hane. Black pulls back and extend up. If he goes here, you go Atari and capture 2 stones. This cut can be a little bit tricky. It's the problem with the cut is like this. If you Hane and he goes Nobi, you're not going to cut and allow this formation, because it's better to bump and then push along. I mean, if you cut, you kind of lose liberties. This is the kind of situation where it's 1, 2, 3 against 2. So in this cross cut, it's black who has the advantage locally. So Atari, go out, and then you come back and connect. And this stone, it's already in trouble. So that wasn't really a Tesuji, it was more like anti-Suji. Black could play a Hane here to sacrifice those guys, but it's proper to play another move. So jump in. This is a little bit too close to the wall. Nice idea to reinforce the wall first. Hane, very good. Actually for black it's better just to play Nobi, so it doesn't give white more forcing moves. And white will try to surround this stone like this or cap, like it happened in the game. But this way, white got stronger. And actually, to make the wall even stronger, it's good to sacrifice 1 stone. So play a Hane, he goes Atari, you connect. So now the wall is complete. And then he either captures the stone or connects. If he captures this stone, you push along because it's going to be Atari, Atari, and so on, and push one more time, and then the wall is super strong, and you can go here. Therefore, black will probably decide to connect this way, so the push is no center for white, but it's still good to play this kind of move, and if he comes out, you hane. If he turns, you pull back. Well, he will connect under, but you're all connected in the center. Because when you play the cap move, he can go in between, like this. Actually, he can also play just tsuke and crosscut. Well, everything works for black, but yeah, coming out between the stones is good. Then push along. So here, instead of this move, you gotta hane and try to surround. So before you do that, again, hane, block, connect, and black will protect here. And now you block with the hane, because if he cuts and captures one stone, you Atari from behind and surround the whole thing. Well, I think it's difficult to kill this black group, but at least you make him suffer a little bit for his eye shape. He will leave, but white also gets all these forcing moves and then capture a big stone in the center. So compared to the game, it's much easier for white to escape this way. It's more active. Like that, he will just push, and it was really difficult now to make territory because white was always busy to escape. This no-bit just makes black strong, so normally you want to play the wedge and create some cuts, but if you play the wedge, you kind of hurt those stones on the left side. So yeah, no-bit was fine in the end. But it's a pity here why didn't play the hane g8. Because now you may live with the both groups, the bottom and the one in the center, but it's difficult to make territory. Normally, you need to jump along. It's important to play here, because the other group is not going to die anyway. This hane is not necessarily center. Yeah, so he switched direction and attacked those stones, and that's very expensive. This is a very nice jump for black, because he's going to build a lot in the center, while the tiny white stones are just running out. So it seems that black is in control of this game now. White is trying to connect or make some eye shape. Then just survive. The way to survive here is to make eyes on the edge like this. This is actually big too, but dangerous for the left side. I mean, if black plays here, he takes away the eyes in center, no base, and the group is struggling. Ooh. Tsuke is not good enough. You must play hane on the second line and then keep pushing, but it's also painful. Black may escape like that, or just connect solid. It's fine either way. Yeah, so sacrifice a bit. Normally you gotta cut. Then when black cuts, you connect first, and now he must take the stone. If he plays Atari from this side, you push, and it's all center. So you sacrifice the stone and take center. But anyway, it's center also like this. Tac, tac, connect. He may turn or play Atari here, but now the block is not going to be center. But overall, white is center, so I can go in the center or just fix the group on the left. But the problem is, territory-wise, black is doing fine. That top left corner was just too big. And now, this was centered to block L18, but black's formation is just too strong. That was big. This is not so big, especially that it leaves takes away the liberties. Kosumi Tsuke here, it's a nice move. Kosumi from this direction to come inside the middle. It's difficult to cut. Yeah, it's just going to lose points. In fact, black doesn't even have to connect. He can push through. If white cuts, black has the ladder. But yeah, it works like this too. Yeah, a little bit of center combination. So black can push. Atari. Push again. No, actually just connect. Throw in. Atari. Atari. And leave the position like this. So play away. Because when white cuts, boom, just take. But black feels good about his position, so he's playing ultra safe. Here, for example, black can play this move. When Atari from the outside, connect. When white connects, black cuts this way. Okay, that was big and important. Well, a little scared here, but nothing happens. Black could block on the second line. Also, as an insurance, black has this Atari here. But if black plays on the second line, and white still tries to win some semi-high, it's not going to work because there is Atari like this, and capture everything. Anyway, there's nowhere to run inside. Black really didn't want to risk anything here. Fine. Oh, that Hanesente. Black would play too. But it doesn't really matter. So the tactic here is to play this cut, then this one. If black goes Atari, no problem, you connect. And with Atari here, you Atari from behind, he takes, and then you push. So you're fine, and you get to build more points. If black pulls back, you block here, which is Gote. But if you play this, and Atari, it takes, and now you're Sente. Well, of course, it's important to reduce a few more points. Yeah, this one, it doesn't work. I mean, there's a damage to Mario at R2, so it's not like you can connect because you lose everything. And then black captures a stone, so it's like you didn't play it. Here black can play this move, threatening snapback, then jump in, and then connect. One way or the other. But white can already leave. So, small moves, both for white and black, but black is way ahead. Actually, this game has been decided very early. I would say the co-fight in the top left corner already put black in a very nice position. And this running in the middle where white is running with two groups, but both are going to build very little. Black got the box and that was it. So yeah, the crosscut on the left side was key in that early fight. Enjoy the review.